I don't think you're doing it right.
Oh, hush. Well, I think that about does it.
So how'd you get this place anyway?
I rented it. What do you want me to say? That the ancient Egyptian virgin magic helped me doom scroll Zillow? Well, it did, but Jesus Christ, dude. Not everything has to be homeowning cats and pipe bombs around here.
You literally traveled back to 2010s-ish.
Okay, I wasn't precise with my words. I time shifted. I shifted the time around me to be more like 2010s-ish. I did not time travel to 2010s-ish. That would be ridiculous. I'm not a god.
Sure, man. What do you want for Christmas?
Not sure. I think consumerism has finally failed Christmas.
Tell me about it.
There's not nearly enough of it.
What the scallop?
If consumerism worked as intended, I would be properly advertised to. I, a little sloppy piggy, would know what he would want from his little slop trough. Actually...
So you're gonna use...
Yeah, I'm going to use magic to make an ad based on what worked on me as a kid.
And what worked on you as a child?
Hi! Local main character Zepp here. The year was 2010 and I was tasked with choosing my own Christmas gift before going to my grandmother's. You see, I was old enough to know the secret about Santa, that he was a yaoi fiend. He loves kissing boys. The real Snow White beard was Mrs. Claus all along. Quite honestly, I knew the Santa secret for quite a while before that, but I was just kind of stringing it out for my parents to see how long it would take for them to tell me. And when they did, I act betrayed. So I was kind of a messed up kid. Messed up kids, however, back in the day were the target audience. I mean, how else were you going to simultaneously stick out and also blend in with the crowd? So when I was choosing that Christmas gift the day of, the choice was obvious. There was an ad campaign that had my attention undivided from the first interlaced frame.
Beyblade, let it rip.
Beyblade, let it rip.
Beyblade, let it rip.
This ad campaign was easily the best the franchise ever did. I mean, the new generation, Beyblade X, essentially recreated these ads from the random intersplices of extreme sports and other activities to the underground fight ring. All that's missing is a rap song.
You're here, ready, this is the night, this is the moment to show off your might.
Or maybe it's better they know their limits. This ad was made in Japan, where Hasbro ads never aired, so it's fair to say the campaign's global impact did some lifting to make Metal Fight the highest-selling generation, unit-wise, of Beyblade. Don't get me wrong, the Japanese ads are fine. They show the product, make it look cool, and say Beyblade in that very specific way. But that's just it. They're good, but not transcendent. I'll buy the toy, but do I buy the lifestyle? Bokuten Shoot Beyblade revealed that kids would take spinning tops seriously as a sport, and Steve Bono, the guy who did a lot of the management of adapting the toy line for Hasbro, tried to integrate this into the brand. For example, come Metal Fight, or Metal Fusion if you prefer, the first big capstone arena set came with brackets for tournaments and an extensive rules guide with tips and tricks. There's some obvious carryover from Bakuten content, but otherwise it's very enthralling. And the ad that sold it, the best to ever do it. It really codified a lot of the features that made this brand fly off shelves. There's excellent storytelling of a hooded underdog entering an intense underground world to win glory. They don't talk about the anime or tie it in. This is a sport, and an established one. A popular one. But it's also unknown, mysterious, the exact dichotomy the era wanted you to be, despite the clear, unavoidable juxtaposition between the two. This kid is a Christ-like figure, and that Christ-like figure could be you! Sure, the Japanese branding also had a street skate graffiti vibe and even a chain link fence, but it paled in comparison to the cage match. The dirty looks, the
Download this music track free for a limited time only at BeybladeBattles.com.
This isn't battling tops. This is the X Games. The cops would bust you for this. It's counterculture without going counter to the culture. Inoffensive but edgy. The voiceover is raspy, menacing, even though these kids are named Adam and Pete.
And they just say insane stuff about spinning tops, like,
I've already won. He just doesn't know it yet.
and
When it comes to Beyblade, you're only ready to win when you're ready for anything.
and
And then there's Tornado Battlers. Top-weighted to be wild, unpredictable, and aggressive. Tricked out new XTS tops I can battle at BeybladeBattles.com, or wherever we throw down.
guys, I think these teenagers are going to stab me to death with Lightning El Drago. And take note that it's teenagers, and sometimes adults,
My opponents never know if I'm coming.
wanting to stab me to death with Lightning El Drago. This toy is for kids half their age, but the power fantasy is to be older, cooler, able to download rap songs at BeybladeBattles.com without their parents' permission. They never treated bays like toys. They were gear, tools to do the sport of battling, a very normal noun and verb to use in everyday speech. And even though Beyblade's Metal Saga was literally brand new, it was treated like this ever-present thing, like skating. It was a monolith of culture that was normal. It had its own terms, tools, and upkeep. It wasn't just some kind of toy brand.
Metal Fight may have been new, but this culture you were about to enter was not. With strategic shot composition, they made the parts available seem infinite and disconnected from the toy company Hasbro. This continued in the following ads. Every dumb gimmick was pitched as a new, deep layer to the game that changed everything you knew about Beyblade. And not like, you know, Tornado Battlers by Hasbro. The new product wasn't really pushed as a hot, fresh toy. It was an aspect of the game that had seemingly been there, only now being discovered by the perspective character, who you projected onto, that now had to be mastered. Buy new toys became trick out your gear. All of it was a misdirect to take your mind off how dumb stealth battlers were. And it worked. So you're telling me they grind on half-pipes like Tony Hawk and deploy and destroy like these war criminals? Well, sign me up for the draft. The real final culmination of this ad campaign was this Spark FX ad. Extreme sports interspliced with bays to say they're on the same level. A dusk till dawn beach rave with 24/7 battles that make even these neon recolors of bays and bay wheels look like the craziest thing ever.
Blading Man was said to have had 3 deaths and 3 births and attendance numbers rivaling any Coachella. And it sold the Hasbro exclusive jank to be as cool as the High Performance Top System, a name that solidified main series bays as sporting goods and the Extreme Top System as not garbage. But then Hasbro did something. They adapted Metal Fight Beyblade 0G, a line that performed so badly that it had to hit curtains early in Japan for both the anime and toy line. Hasbro had the chance to save it and the additional tat they made for it from another disaster, but they fumbled once again, baby!
Younger and younger kids starred in the ads, now somewhat watered down from their predecessors. Shogun Steel didn't really stand a chance. The cool edge evaporated away alongside the aging fan base who now realized they were buying a children's toy. That's fine now to buy a toy, but back then, they started forever wars for less.
Like all media, ads are meant to manipulate you. But unlike books, movies, and songs, they aren't meant to get you immersed in a narrative or to consider your emotions or contemplate any themes. They're meant to make you spend money. So, the least they can do is make it fun, communal. Not this!
Hasbro's burst ads were, meh. It was either kids in front of a green screen, or kids taking a break from an actual sport to play with a toy, or just toys? This lifestyle ad they did is fun and demonstrates the communal aspect of the hobby, but is only mostly effective on fans already invested in Hasbro's brightly blinding bastardization of Burst. It's set in the real world, not in Fantasyland, where you wanna be. I get what 80K Emotions, the marketing and licensing company for Beyblade, was trying to do, but can it really beat motocross in the Destroyer Dome?
A good ad campaign is more than a reminder that you should buy a product. It's a fun little performance that takes you to the edge of the stage and offers you a part to play in the show. They can get you to buy into a lot of silly lifestyle choices, like owning an acrylic ball, or owning a ball in a cup, or owning a rock. I hope Beyblade X, pitching itself as an all-ages gear sport, can manage to offer this enticing of a role to its audience. I hope that Hasbro, or whoever ends up managing it over here, can remember to market it this well. I hope 80K Emotions doesn't drop the ball and let the series fall into another advertising mess like Burst. Now, clearly, Burst still did well, but we can do better. Beyblade X can reach a much larger audience than just that of a toy. And I hope to see that. To see adults play. It's a normal human thing to do. Games are just another normal way of interacting with the world. We've done them since, well, really humanity's inception. So I hope they don't once again fumble the bag on what could be one of the most memorable ones in recent history. I think that there are a lot of people who need the let it rip lifestyle. I know what I have to do now. Oh, that actually worked. The spirit of Christmas? What do I want for Christmas?
Nope, this is, Jett Kuso, actually.
Jett Kuso? What do I want for Christmas?
Have you considered that maybe you should stop thinking about what you want and start thinking about what you need?
You're right. Thanks, Jett.
So I guess you're an orb guy, too? Just found my orb number online and thought you'd call me up. That's a normal thing to... Yep, no, he's gone. Just another day on the orb.
So, know what you want for Christmas now?
Yeah. And I don't need an ad to tell me. Will you pay my rent this month?
No.
I figured. Just give me an obscure collectible or something. You know the drill by now.
Yeah, that fits.